Hello and welcome to Down the Vent. My name's Joe, and today we're going to take a jaunt through Nottingham Forest, splash around under the sea, fly past Neverland, take a left down the streets of Agrabah, and jump down the rabbit hole to Wonderland as we attempt to curse some princesses and prove that we truly are the most villainous. Let's check it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to play Disney's Villainous. So, you start off by giving everyone a board, like so, and it'll match their specific villain. So we have Ursula here and Prince John. You give them their markers, their deck of cards that is the same color as their board background. See, we have Prince John's there. Each villain then gets a fate deck that goes with them as well. And then they'll draw 4 cards each. The first player gets no starting power, the second player gets 1 starting power, and then it kind of builds up from there. But since we're just doing a 2-player game, that's all we're doing. You will take your marker and set it on the leftmost space on your board. So we have Ursula is at Ursula's lair, and Prince John is in Sherwood Forest. Then you'll take any lock icons, and there'll be a little lock here. And you'll put a lock over top of that location, meaning that it is closed. You cannot play cards there, you cannot move there, until you do the special action to get it unlocked. Then, one of the most important things in the game are these little booklets that kind of give you a background on how to play your character and the way to win, how to get locations unlocked, and things like that. So I highly recommend players get these, start reading them as like the person that owns the game is setting everything else up. They really help you out with knowing how to play the game. So that's basic setup. That's how you get ready to go. Once everyone's got their 4 cards in their hand, the first player's going to go. So it's one person at a time as well in the game. So Ursula first will choose a new location to move to. So she wants to move out to the shore. After you move to a location, you get to take every action there in any order you want. There are a total of 8 different actions in the game that you can choose from. They include gain power, which is this one right here, so she'll gain 3 power, because that's the number inside the action. Play a card, which are a little symbol with an up arrow and a card. Activate a card, which will allow you to activate cards that are in your realm. Fate, which allows you to play a fate card against another player, hopefully hurting them. The action move an item or ally, which allows you to move an item or ally. Then there's a move a hero action, which is a little bit different. You can move a hero from location to location. Then the vanquish action, which allows your allies to fight the heroes. And then discard cards, which allows you to discard as many cards as you want from your hand. So, Ursula decided to go here first. We got the 3 power already. Now we can play up to 2 cards, because there's 2 play card spots there. So first, we're going to play an ally. Allies go at the bottom of the board like so, and then you pay the cost, which is in the top left corner there, which was 2. Then, there's a couple other cards that are in the game as well. So we have item cards, which can either be played to locations or on allies. You have to attach them to an ally, it would say that. Then there's effect cards, which you play, and they're kind of like one-time use. You pay the cost, you play it, and then it gets discarded. This one costs 1 and allows you to search your discard pile for an item or effect. Not useful at the beginning of the game. And the last type of card here is a condition. And a condition is usually played during another player's turn. And it kind of gives you an advantage, like this one says during their turn, if another player has 6 or more power, you may play Trickery, reveal and play 1 card from that player's fate deck. So if that would be really good against Prince John, because his goal in the game is to acquire at least 20 power and have it at the beginning of his turn. So he's going to be trying to build up that power, so this will come in handy later on in the game to hopefully trick him and play a fate card because he's just got too much money. So we're not going to play a second card because we don't really have anything that useful yet, but we can discard as many cards as we want, so we're going to discard this one. And then you just draw back up to 4 at the end of your turn. So now it's Prince John's turn. So his goal is to get 20 power and have it at the beginning of his turn, so going here to get 3 power seems like a pretty smart move. So he'll take his 3 power, now he can play a card, Prince John has an item that actually gets played to a location. It doesn't have to be attached, so he's going to play the Warrant there. It costs 1 power, and it allows him to gain 2 power each time a hero is played to that location. So that kind of makes it so Ursula wouldn't want to play a hero there because that rewards King John. Then King John can discard some cards. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of 2, and then we'll draw back up to 4 again, so he'll have 4 cards at the end of his turn. Now, how does a hero get placed? Well, let's take a look. Ursula moves over here, and she gets the Fate action now. So, what you do is you flip up the top 2 cards of your opponent's Fate deck, and here we have 2 heroes, Alan O'Dale and Friar Tuck. Well, Friar Tuck seems pretty good, so we're going to take him, and we're actually going to place him here. So when you place a hero, it actually covers up 2 actions of a villain's at the villain's location. So now, if Prince John comes to Nottingham, he does not get the power, and he does not get to do a Fate on Ursula, kind of weakening him in general. The other Fate card gets discarded, it's no longer an option, and Ursula would take the rest of her turns. So that's basically how the game is played. You're going to continue taking turns back and forth until one of the villains meet their goal. At that time, the game ends immediately. No one else gets another turn, and you are the most villainous. So let's go ahead and head up and see what I thought. Okay, so what do I think of Disney Villainous? Well, I first got the game and I was expecting a pretty light, family weight, not much strategy type game with just, Disney slapped on it and some cool villains or whatever. Then I read the rules and I was like, oh, okay, there's actually, card management, hand management, resource management, action selection. Like, okay, I like all those things. Then we played it the first time and my mind was just like blown. There are so many options and different strategies you can take in this game. I really like that the game comes with the little pamphlets that tell you like how to play your villain and like ideas on what you need to do to win. Like you must do this to be able to do this, to do that. That's really helpful. Just for first-time players, it helps you jump in and have a better chance against someone who's played 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 times, whatever, because they're going to know what they need to do as Jafar. Oh, I know I need to unlock the Cave of Wonders. I know I need to get the genie. I know I need to get the lamp, Where if it's your first time playing, you're like, what is the Queen of Heart doing? What is the things that I'm putting out? Why are my cards being turned sideways? That's really helpful. That's awesome that they put that in the game. The pieces are excellent. Like the little markers that kind of look like the villains, but are more just like a symbol of their evil and stuff like that. Oh man, that is so cool. And the little tray to keep the power tokens in for no reason, they put that in, but besides to add more, theme and to make it look sweet. This game is one of my favorites right now. The amount of strategy goes into it. I've played with 2 people, I've played with 3 people, and I think I'll play with 5. I haven't played with the full 6 yet. I really want to get that in. But every time I play it, I like it more. And even when I had 5 people, it was still a lot of fun. The turns didn't take super long, and it still went around pretty fast. And I think it took a little longer than the recommended time. I think it took almost an hour and a half, but it didn't feel like an hour and a half. And you have a lot to think about and do on between turns as well, because you have your hand and you can study and figure out what you're going to do and what kind of plays you're going to make and just all that kind of stuff. The game really surprised me and you gotta at least give it a try. It is a little bit heavier than I would say family weight. I played it with my wife, hoping that it'd be a game that we could play together, but she didn't like all the cards having different powers, and there's just she's not a fan of like hand management and having to deal with a lot of cards that have different abilities on them. So might not be for everyone, but it definitely is for heavy gamers. I played it with some extremely heavy Euro gamers, and they were really into it. You just got to get them past the theme, because sometimes they see Disney and they're like, oh, what is that, a kid's game? I was like, it's a kid's game. You get to be villains. You got to trap the genie. You got to fight like Aladdin, and you got to just be evil and curse the lands, and like it's so cool and just a great theme. And on the back of the rule book, I don't know if people have noticed this or not, but it looks like they're going to have a survey out where you can choose which villain you want to be. So I'm hoping for lots of expansions, and if you can barely see the outline here, that's Cruella de Vil. She's not in the game, but could that be a hint towards the first expansion? I mean, after we finish the game, everyone's like, oh, I want Scar, I want Cruella de Vil, I want Sid from Toy Story, and like all these extra things that people were just talking about. It was good, and I mean, and it's Disney, and it's like some of our favorite movies, so people were quoting lines from it and stuff like that throughout the game. It just made for a really fun time, so I highly recommend you at least check out Villainous, if not buy it. And it's just a 2 thumbs up for me. I can't give it a big enough recommendation. I really enjoy this game, so that's it for me. You've been watching Down the Vent. Bye-bye.